Hello everyone, Cubix here, and first off I want to say that I'm currently playing Mind Test. It isn't my normal, actually I've only done Minecraft in the past, but this is a explanation of how a Mese House works that I built with Benrob0329, link to his channel in the description, and another link to the video of his showcase. This is where I will explain all the mesecons, and he'll actually help me with the pipeworks and Technic stuff later on. So right through this door we have the mechanism for the door, as shown in Benrob's video. We have the torch here to activate it, and basically it's simple. If you've seen any redstone flush doors, you've probably seen this type of thing. These four pistons will push these two pistons and these two blocks in order for those two pistons to push those two blocks into there, as shown right there. Using no clip, I can show you everything, and that's just based on timing circuits and pistons. Now, if we go to the elevator here, as you can see, whenever we press that, it'll extend 3 blocks, moving you up into here. This will bring it up, summon it up, but most of the time you just would like to drop back down. It's only 4 blocks, so you won't take damage. Now for the mesecons. With both inputs, it goes through these mese block wires. They can easily be insulated, and torch towers for right here, into this XOR gate, which will turn it into a two-way switch. If you don't know what a two-way switch is, think of your stairway in your house and how there's a light on the upstairs and the downstairs. That's basically how a two-way switch is. It's all around the world. Anyways, as far as this goes, the triple piston extender here will push this block 3 blocks up based on, first it'll activate this pulse extender, which will go through this line here, this bottom vertical mesecon will activate this piston, and then as far as that piston goes, it'll also trigger this delayer, powering this vertical mesecon, going down under here, powering this piston once again 2 ticks later, which goes through here and up to here, powering the top piston whenever it's up behind there. Now coming back to over here, it also comes up over, and 2 ticks later fires this piston. While that's happening, it will come back up here, fire the third piston 1 tick later, and take another tick, go up the vertical mesecon over to here, fire this piston whenever it's in this one, which is 1 tick later, and 4 ticks later it'll come down here all the way down this vertical mesecon, 4 ticks more, and you go through, power this one once more to bring this back down, and it also comes up here, powers this to bring that piston back down, and then once it comes up here, it powers the third piston to pull the block back down. All in all, it takes some time to pull that last block down, as you can see right here. Whenever it comes back down, that block stays there for quite a while because of the necessary delay for it to work in time. I've tried to shorten it, and it won't work due to a looping error in mesecon's lagginess. Now, as you can see here, we also have this gate right up here, and if you place the torch here, wait a little longer, it will take down, and the pressure plate is activated as well, as you can see there when you walk over. Let's get no clip enabled and come down here to show you the mechanism. The torch key circuit, which is where we press put the torch there in order to activate it. That circuit is just detecting that torch is there, so it's powering this torch off, which will then power this torch on, which will activate the rest of the system. First of all, it goes through this insulated wire over to these 2 vertical mesecons, which are also on the pressure plates. That is the input system. and for both inputs it'll run down this vertical mesecon into this vertical mesecon. The button here is a test configuration for this. It's a third input, and it will also activate it, but yeah, it's mainly just for testing. It doesn't need to be there. Now this is a monostable circuit. It's more compact in redstone, although this is really good considering its mesecons. So how this works is it basically powers this mes block, which will send a pulse through to this insulated wire here, while one tick later it'll fire the piston, so it shortens the pulse because it can't send it in as long. Now as it comes through this insulated wire, it'll go through this another pulse lengthener, as you saw earlier in there. This one's larger because it has more system ticks to fire, and this goes through a NOT gate. The NOT gate comes up through this vertical mesecon, down this line, and into a NOT gate there, not a NOT gate, a diode. The diode stops it from looping back on us. Otherwise it would just loop back and forth and keep it always powered and would disallow you from using the door. Now as it goes through the diode, it'll come down up through these two different vertical mesecons and power these blocks. Whenever these blocks retract though, it will take out the dirt blocks, the blocks up underneath the fences, and that's where they'll be stored, while this system here, it retracts the fences one lower so you can walk by. Now if you want the mesecon explanation, it'll go through here, invert the signal right here, and power this mes block, which will make the turn and come over here into another pulse extender, which will power these two pistons, pushing these out to retract the fence, and coming over here to actually pull the fence down. While this is happening, this is also another monostable circuit right here, and that's why this is a mes block instead of an insulated wire. Coming back to down here, taking this line, you have a 1 tick delay to power these two. This is basically a double piston extender, two different double piston extenders right next to each other for the two different fences. They'll pull the blocks down, and this will store it as we said before, so that has space to work. But if you go through here, 1 tick later it'll fire it again, and then another tick later it'll fire the second one. Now, and that's basically everything that happens. That finishes the double piston extender and creates this entire lovely piece of work. Now the next thing on this list is how we did these doors. See, he's only standing on that one, yet it's opening both doors. If without without mesecons, you can't do this. It'll just open the one that you're on the side of, unless you're standing in the middle activating both of them. So if you come down here, you can see this system right here. These vertical mesecons are being activated by either one of these pressure plates. Same thing for over here. These two wires are connecting to the vertical mesecons and traveling up here to another mesecon wire on either side, causing it to, no matter which one you activate, it'll also be activating the rest, flowing throughout all the wires. Now if we come over here with the staircase, as you can see here, it will push the stairs out of the wall and retract up here. Whenever it's enough, it'll extend that for the roof. Granted, this is seeable, but it's alright considering that it's only seen whenever it's closed. You could put blocks above it, although that would sort of block the sleeping part of the beds. It would just put you in the roof and you wouldn't really be able to have a nice wake up morning. As far as this goes, we have another redstone torch key, mesecon torch key, sorry. It runs through, powers this vertical mesecon, goes down here into a NOT gate. That is because this gate, the torch key already inverts it by 1, so we're inverting it back and into this two-way switch. Now on the other side of the two-way switch is this lever here, which is wired through 2 blocks and then a torch going through here and back through here. This is insulated so it won't interfere with that up there. As create another two-way switch which will follow up here, over here, activating each one of these pistons to push out of there while going also up through here into another NOT gate, because whenever these pistons are covering it up, these pistons have to be in, and vice versa. So this top line has to be inverted from the bottom line. So that is what that NOT gate is doing. Also, it'll bring up the vertical torch, vertical wire all the way through here, activating each one of those pistons. Now, the only thing left is for the Technic stuff and things that we would like to explain to you later on. Benrob is going to take over and talk about all the stuff involving Technic.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, in Technic, if you grind an ore lump, it will give you double the output as if you had just smelted it. So as you saw on the roof, we had all the wires. Those are solar panels that come down into here, run over into these battery boxes, which have 2 batteries in each of them so that they have extra charge. There are 2 blinky plants here. One is offset from the other through a delayer so it fires twice, thus allowing us to utilize both furnaces and grinders. Those activate the Pipeworks item-wise injectors, pulling the items out of both chests. Out of the grinding chest, it goes into the grinder, then through some one-way tubes, and goes up. And here we have a sand tube right here, so that because one of the items will go in the wrong direction and fall on the floor here, that just picks it up and sends it back on its way right into the furnace chest, which then come out of the grinders and go into some one-way tubes, which then goes up into the sand tube. And the sand tube is there because occasionally one item will go in the wrong direction and pop out of the tube. This picks it back up and sends it back on its way into the smelting tube, into the smelting chest, which then comes down into these 2 furnaces. It runs back up into the mithril chest.
We just gave you a good explanation on how mesecons work. We went through each different thing in the house and talked a little bit about how redstone worked. What the differences between redstone and mesecons were. But if you like this video, please comment, tell me what I could do better, and tell me what you want me to do. This video is mainly to show that I'm not scared of doing other stuff than just Minecraft. So yeah, let me know. And that's the teleporter, right? Okay. Anyways, still check out my friend Benrob0329, his channel. He has the showcase for this house. This was just the explanation for how it worked inside of it. And the garden isn't really anything high-tech. We should list off the mods that are here. Rob, can you do that?
That would be mesecons, Technic, mobs redo, farming redo, and I believe that's it as far as the important mods.
And all of this works in the current Minetest 0.4.15. Goodbye.
This is an exterior review of the triple piston extender, which is based off of my original double piston extender. And One of the things that I found very strange is that even though the timing's all right, it only works with a short pulse, like a button. If you try to use a switch, well, if you don't flick it on and off immediately, if you try to use a switch, um, all the circuits will light up, and then if you turn it off, it kind of does this for some reason. And I don't really understand why, but it's rather annoying to have to only use a short pulse. Originally, we were going to have a couple switches so that you could simply tell the elevator to the top or the bottom.
That is
But
why all the monostable circuits was down below.
yes, because of the fact that depending on what you did, originally we had a button here. Originally we had, do we have a button or a switch?
I put a switch. We had a button.
Yeah, but the difference in timing between the button and the pressure plates was rather large. Even though the button is rather long pulse for a button, it still wasn't enough to activate the system. So we had to use a pulse extender. However, the difference between the pulse extender and the pressure plates occasionally cause things to go a bit haywire, and they still do go a bit haywire every once in a while simply because something goes wrong. Which is another thing that was really annoying when trying to build this, is that mesecon has a tendency to be rather inconsistent.
Now, the reason why there isn't pressure plates on the outside is because, frankly, it's impossible with this piston system here to take out the fences, and another thing is it actually makes it look more secure. Like, you have to have the torch key to open it from the outside. Although, granted, this isn't Minecraft, and fences aren't 1.5 blocks tall, so you can jump over them, as he just did. Now,
However, mobs do not jump over the fence, at least from the mobs redo mod.
yeah.
I can demonstrate that now by grabbing a spawner. As you can see, I can jump over the fence,
Hey,
but
hey. What are you doing? They just want me.
no, well then come inside the fence. As you can see, mobs do not jump over the fence,
They don't?
except they glitch. He glitched through it. Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. But
Why
anyways,
did you do that? The one time.
the point is that the mob won't be placing a torch.
Yeah. Unless we get some like major AI mods going on, then but if they get that smart, I'm gonna get scared.
Oh, and by the way, did you know that you could travel in Minetest at least 8 blocks in 8 ticks? Yeah. Anyways, this is the monostable circuit that we had to design. It's a rising edge, so it will only do it whenever it turns on. And it makes it less, it makes that blink instead of stay on. Basically converts that lever into a pulse, or a button.
This is the make it stay daylight thing, so it's just a blinky plant with a time command in the command block.
This is an RS NOR latch. This is another thing we tried for the basement elevator, was to have the mesecon system far away, and that way we would have more room. Basically have it way out there, but have the pistons where we wanted them to be. And that sort of failed, yet it was still sort of stuff. This is another one we tried, was like having double timings and triple timings, but it also just didn't really fit what we were looking for. And up here is the fence system. Now, I believe there's a lever here. Whenever someone is standing on those pressure plates, or there's a mesecon torch, this lever would be as if it turned off. As you can see here, you can see that those bring it down and everything else. So that's basically how it works, and then when you turn it on, it just shoves it all back up. Probably would have been better to do the to show what was happening in this, but yeah. This is the blocks underneath the fence, and this is the fence itself. Is there anything else?
That, like a double piston extender over here.
Yeah, that will show the inconsistency and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, on the inconsistency of mesecons that we had to work around is this double piston extender. It is consistent at the moment. Well, not really. What did you do?
I reduced the timing. See, sometimes it'll work.
Now the timing seems correct, but it isn't. It works some of the time, and some of the time it won't, which is a big problem when it comes to consistency. As I just broke that. It's not consistent if you're breaking the wires.
No.
But this is the minimum amount of timing for a double piston extender, I believe. What is the minimum amount of timing again? It's
one tick and then 6 ticks.
yeah. And then it's an instant. Now in Minecraft it'd be 2 ticks, 4 ticks, instant ticks, and that's due to each piston takes 1.5 ticks to extend. So this extends waiting out after 2 ticks, and then this one extends after it, allowing them both to extend properly. And then with this instant wire here, this one instantly goes out whenever it'll instantly go out once this piston is in front of it to activate. And as far as retracting, once this turns off, it will retract the block. This will retract the piston that is currently where the block sits, and then this piston will retract the block from right there. I hope that wasn't too complicated, but as you can see, there it goes.
And then over here we have the vertical version of it, which does, however, work with just 1 tick, 5 ticks.
Minus 1 tick from the top. It still works. Minus 2 ticks from the top. Still works.
Okay.
Make it 2 ticks though, and it still works. But 1 tick, you just fire both of them at the same time and cancel them out.
See, but here's the weird thing. If I instead set that like that,
It won't retract it.
Despite the fact that this is supposed to be 2 ticks.
Well, I don't really want to go into this with this video though, but I can explain you why. I can explain why.
Okay. But this does not work like that. This, you have to have this amount of time in order for it to work, and it's a lot slower. Another problem we ran into with mesecons, just to finish this off, is the fact that not everything is well documented. For example, what does the timing of a button have to do with the timing of a delayer? Why are 2 delayers different from 1 delayer set to 2 ticks? As well as different things with, say, the all-side sticky block, or or the fact that you can use vertical mesecon to grab a signal from a pressure plate, but why can't you use that to grab a signal from another block? Things seem to be almost, but not quite, consistently inconsistent. And it makes it very difficult to design things. It's not impossible, and it does work. I do understand there are also some engine limitations. However, I feel like it could be improved.
As I just shortened this. By looking at that, can you tell why two delayers make a difference?
Now,